Hi. Many people ask how to start an electronics laboratory, how to start electronic business, and that's not an easy answer. If you are studying electronics, okay, you know the path you are on and what are you going to be through. If you are starting electronics as a hobby, or if you are starting electronics as a business without formal education, it's not going to be so easy. Anyway, I have some advices for you. Number one, you will not go any further without knowledge. You need to buy books, you need to get videos, or you need to download by free the electronics books from internet. That's very important. Read it, study, make the practice. Remember the difference between reading and studying is to write notes. Okay? Now, to start the electronics business, number one, as a business itself, there are two legal ways to do it. One is to start the business in your name, and you have to go to the taxes institution in your country and record your name and charge your person with the taxes you generate by service. The other is to create a company, to use a nickname and register it and go the same to the taxes institution in your country and to use that name. As example, I can use my name, Bob Kalpon, or I can use my company's name, Kalpon Electronics, either way. Once that I am legal, once that I am able to build, I can start the business service. Now, what is important is what am I doing? How I am doing it? I need to get feedback from the clients. Also, I need to focus in what is more productive. As example, I decided I'm going to fix laptops. I'm fixing laptops, but maybe fixing tablets, I will get more clients. Maybe by fixing tablets and fixing laptops, I'm going to bring memories and hard disk drives for selling my business. But clients, they are more interested in to buy smartphones. So that's what we call evolution. I have to give the turns and let my business to grow in the way that it follows. But the feedback from the clients and attention what I'm doing every day is very important. How to analyze through the time what is more effective? I have a simple advice. Use a calculation software, easy one, like Excel from Microsoft. There are also others that you don't have to pay for them. They are free to download and they have the same capability. Make records of all your income per day. You will know which day of the week is more productive, which season of the year is more productive, and also you will see if through the time you are growing or you are not growing. When you make a graphic gives you the information you need. And remember, don't expect to be a good businessman without graphic. You need the graphic. You need the notes. You need the knowledge. You need the studying. It's the way that business works. Business doesn't work in my mind. Business doesn't work because I'm too intelligent. No. Business is a complex thing. I have to pay attention to it. It's not like a chessboard. It's like football. Everybody's moving at the same time. Many things are happening. You gotta pay attention to it. Now that you know you are able to pay taxes by your own person, by yourself, or by your own company, you are legally free to do and to act without to be in shame, without to be in troubles. You need to grow, you need to study every day, Remember guys, if you enter in electronics, you must study because electronics is changing. The technology 10 years ago is not the same technology we're going to apply in the next 5 years. So evolution is very important. Pay attention to evolution. As I said, notes and the graphics, they are telling you how is the income, when is the income, what is the product you more for sell, what is the product that gives you more income, because maybe repairing is not giving me the money that I need, that I'm getting from selling. Maybe my intention was selling, but I discovered repairing was worthy. Maybe I said I'm going to repair smartphones, and I found out that there is a full market of audio equipment that needs to be fixed, and there is no competition in that market. Just pay attention what is worthy, what is giving you more money in the moment. About equipment, the equipment you will need, you will know it in your career. Buy the best, but also remember my advice. If it is your hobby, buy the best equipment you want because it's for you. If it is your business, you must have a rule, you must respect yourself. Business is to take money from, not to put money in. If you are putting money in your business, then you are investing. Okay, yes. If you recover your investment, you tell me you did all right. But if you don't recover it, you are just spending money in your business and you are paying your business. And it doesn't work that way. Okay? Now, you know you must be legal to work. You know you must have knowledge in what you are doing. And you know you must have the special equipment for what you are doing. How to compete? Good advice. The price. Many people think if I charge very little, I will compete a lot. And no, it's not that way. If you charge less money, your competition is not able to eat, and you too. What you have to do, get a price like your competition. Clients will respect you for that. If you go cheap, we will understand we are cheap and you are not good. What is the real price I should charge for something? Okay, repairing means if you don't repair it, that person has to trash it. Got it? But you have to compete with the credit companies that are for selling the same product. An example, a TV. There is a TV in the market, it's $500, and those $500 after 1-2 years is running out of warranty. The TV got broken. Now, how much is to fix that TV? Probably a decent price to fix the TV will be, let's say, 10 or 20% of the price of the TV. And the TV will run for the next 5 years. 6 years will be worthy for the client. If you are expecting to ask for 30% of the price of the TV, that's equal to the down payment the owner of the TV has to pay to the electronics shop to buy a new one. So it's better to do not have any risk and to trash the TV. Got it? How much is the price by repairing? 10% minimum. Never go less than 10% of the price of something for repairing. And 20% of the price of the product could be a decent price to give a good service, to ensure you're going to have your income, you will be able to pay taxes, to cover all your expenses, and to renew your equipment through a season of time. If you work in industrial electronics, never go for less than 100 euros or dollars the basic service. Why? Because one machine produces more money than that when it's stopped you lose more money than that. So it's worth it to work for that kind of prices. If you're going to fix telephones, as example, there is another kind of a value you can apply. As I said, 20% of the value of the equipment is a worthy price. But remember how much should be your income and how many things do you need to repair today to get enough income. If I'm expecting to repair telephones, probably I need to repair 4 or 5 telephones per day minimum to be able to have enough income. In that case, I don't think I can do it. Not because I am not able to do it. Maybe yes, but sure not all the days. And by sure not every day I will get 5 telephones to fix. I will have to get complementation. What kind of complement? For sale merchandise. And be very focused in, if I'm going to work in electronics repairing, if I am going to work for selling electronics, or if I have to mix my business. Why do you need to do that? Because remember, you are going to make your company and tell the government you are going to pay taxes by service, by selling, or by both in most of the countries. The point is, the bottom line, how much to charge for electronics. Remember, 20% of the price of electronics is something worthy. For things like an industrial machine in a factory, you can charge even from $100 to $200 by the full service. Don't be afraid of it. It's worthy. Very small things like a electronics calculator, you will not fix it. It's not worthy anymore. In the case of the computers, maybe you have the knowledge to repair a computer. For desktop computers, it's easier to replace the part. For laptops, that's another thing. If the laptop is expensive, you can go and work in repairing in electronics. If it is not, has no sense. Other example, tablets. You can fix the SOS tablet in some ways. After some time, after some investment, it's not worthy anymore to fix it. So if you are sure you can be effective enough to fix a tablet and charge 20% of its price, go ahead. If you are not able, then it has no sense. Maybe it's better with some standard brands to replace the PCB. Now the knowledge is with you, and go ahead. Don't forget, guys, you must study. Some way, somehow, you must study. Don't believe everything we say in YouTube. Believe what books say is better. Okay? Download books. Make a research. What is the official book that is used in the university in your country, in the technical academies? And I'm totally sure you can download those books. Go ahead, guys. Enjoy. This is electronics. We don't work. We just enjoy it. Have a nice day. Thanks by watching the video.